WNBA star Caitlin Clark clashes with referee, then seen crying on bench in final minutes. Caitlin Clark found herself in a heated dispute with a WNBA referee during a recent game. The Indiana Fever's standout guard got furious and had to be stopped by her coach. Clark was then reduced to tears as she went on benches with an injury in final minutes. Fire and tears. Caitlin Clark's emotional flashpoint in pivotal WNBA clash. On a steamy July night, under the searing lights of Gainbridge Fieldhouse, the Indiana Fever hosted one of the most crucial matchups of their season. The crowd buzzed with anticipation, many donning number 22 jerseys in support of Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation who had taken the WNBA by storm with her signature long-range bombs, pinpoint assists, and unrelenting competitiveness. But no one, least of all Caitlin, could have predicted the night would end with a storm of controversy, raw emotion, and one unforgettable snapshot. The league's brightest young star, shoulders hunched, tears slipping down her cheeks as she sat on the bench in the final minutes. Clash of fire, the third-quarter spark. The tension had been building since tip-off. Indiana was trailing the Chicago Sky in a game that carried playoff implications. The rivalry between the two Midwestern squads had intensified in recent weeks, and Caitlin Clark was right in the center of it all. It was in the third quarter when the match's emotional temperature reached a boiling point. Clark drove hard to the basket, weaving between defenders, absorbing contact as she launched a one-handed layup. No whistle. The ball rimmed out. She landed awkwardly, popping up with fire in her eyes, mouth open, incredulous. "That's a foul," she shouted, arms raised. Referee Tanya Ellison, a seasoned WNBA official, looked unfazed as she jogged up court, ignoring Clark's protest. The next possession was worse. A handcheck was called on Clark. The crowd groaned. Clark bit her lip, then exploded. "You didn't call it on them." "What is this?" she snapped, pointing toward the arc. "Be consistent." Ellison blew her whistle sharply and signaled a technical foul. The arena erupted in mixed reactions, boos, gasps, cheers from opposing fans. Clark's teammates rushed in, trying to calm her down. But the fire was lit. Cameras caught her shaking her head repeatedly, muttering, "This is ridiculous." Under her breath, a moment of reckoning. Head coach Christy Sides pulled her to the sideline, whispering urgently, hands on Clark's shoulders. But even as Clark sat momentarily on the bench, the frustration was etched on her face. The competitive edge that made her a collegiate icon and a pro sensation had turned inward, spiraling into something more volatile. The Fever fell further behind in the fourth quarter. Clark returned to the game, visibly more restrained, but her rhythm was off. Shots rimmed out. Her usual dazzling passes were intercepted. Every missed call or turnover added to the visible weight pressing down on her. Then, with 2 minutes left and the Fever trailing by 9, she was pulled from the game again. And that's when the cameras caught it. Clark sitting on the bench, towel around her shoulders, head bowed. A tear fell, followed by another. She wiped at her face quickly, hoping the camera wouldn't zoom in. But it was too late. The image was already flooding Twitter and TikTok. Caitlin Clark crying on the bench in the final minutes. Was it frustration, exhaustion, rage, or something deeper? Behind the curtain, what broke Caitlin Clark? Clark has always worn her heart on her sleeve. From her Iowa days, where she yelled with glee after logo threes, to her often fiery WNBA debut season, she has played the game at a boiling intensity few could match. But that intensity also made her a target, both for physical play from defenders and, increasingly, from referees quick to interpret her passion as protest. "I'm not just emotional," she once said in an interview. "I play with my whole heart. That comes with joy, and sometimes with fire." Insiders say the game against the Sky was only the culmination of weeks of bottled-up emotion. She had taken more hits than most rookies. Critics in the media debated her every move. Some claimed she was entitled. Others said she was being unfairly targeted. All the while, she carried the weight of record-setting ticket sales, rising ratings, and the eyes of millions.